Hello and welcome to the Powerboost meditation. Today, let us experiment with the theme, the power of doing nothing. The power of doing nothing. We're often in a doing mode, and we often think a lot about what I need to do, what I have done. And so in the mind, often this task list is always there. And personally, I have seen that whenever there is a lot of thoughts about what I need to do, what needs to be done, it's often the energy of the soul gets drained out. And it's then that every little thing begins to influence my mind. It begins to bring the soul down from a state of silence into a state where the soul experiences influence from every little thing. And so the power of doing nothing is when even whilst I am in the action, on the field of action, I'm not consciously thinking a lot about doing. It's as if the presence of the soul enables everything to get done. It's like the presence of this beautiful divine energy of the soul, and also the connection that the soul has with the source. That energy of truth automatically allows everything to happen at the right time, in the right way. And so the soul is not clinging on to the actions. It's only when that I, the soul, I cling on to the actions that I become task conscious. Then how the task is happening, if the task is successful, I've already created subtle expectations from the task. And that subtle expectation doesn't allow me to really be myself as I'm in the action. And so the power of doing nothing is when I tell myself with this inner knowing that really everything happens according to a larger plan. And I, the soul, I am also a part of that larger scheme of things. And so independently, it's not that I am responsible for carrying out a certain task, but I'm a part of the larger game. And then it's as if I just need to be myself, and I need to pay attention to my state of mind. I just need to be aware of my truth. I just need to be aware of the reality. And then everything just begins to happen on its own. And because I feel I'm just a facilitator and I'm not the doer, then the ego of doing doesn't emerge. Because more often than not, this ego of doing something, it's always there in the background. And that ego doesn't allow me to really experience this moment. It doesn't allow me to experience the present. It doesn't allow me to enjoy the action. But rather, it creates a subtle bondage around the action. And as we move on in our spiritual path, in our path of meditation, this realization kicks in where we realize that there's not much of doing, but the attention just has to be on being. And then doing happens on its own. It's just like in physics, we know that whenever there is a voltage difference, the electric current will flow automatically. And so the actions or the current will automatically flow. I just need to be in my state of self-respect. And it's as if there is this beautiful flow of energy from the divine, the source, into the soul. And that presence, that sacred energy automatically gets everything done. And so the power of doing nothing, it's equivalent to the power of being myself. And so I don't allow the conscious mind, which is always, attracted to actions of doing things and, getting the task list done. It's as if I'm allowing for the subconscious mind and the presence of the true, the sacred energy of the being to just color my mind, my thoughts. And in that presence, everything happens according to the larger plan. It's as if the soul is aligned to the larger plan of life. And so the soul automatically develops a perspective of only looking at everything from a perspective that everything is beautiful, everything is auspicious, everything is the way it should be, and everyone is the way they should be. And so rather than actions influencing my thoughts, it's this state of mind, the state of pure thinking, not just positive thinking, but pure thinking, where the soul is operating from a space of complete purity, complete alignment with the source and the play of life, where the soul realizes that it's just a facilitator, no more than that. And so the soul doesn't take responsibility of anything, doesn't get influenced, doesn't create heaviness in the mind. So let us experiment with this thought, the power of doing nothing. As I sit back and relax, I realize that actions are a part of this physical world, physical dimension. And I, this eternal being of light, I belong to my dimension of silence. It is through this physical costume, the medium, that I, the soul, come and perform actions. But I also realize this subtle trap that can easily influence the soul and get entrapped in the game of actions and reactions. And so I realize that I'm just a facilitator. As an actor, my attention is just on being myself and on the directions that I am receiving from the divine, the source. And when my attention, when my focus is on the self and the source, then I'm aligned with the play of life. And then I work with the power of receiving inner inspirations and touchings from the source. And there's no obstacle in my thoughts. My thoughts just flow one way from the source into me and from the soul into the world. As I come back and reconnect to my inner dimension, I go within, above and beyond the field of actions, the field of reactions. And I come home to my state of truth. In my home of silence, there's just the pure presence of the being, the soul, along with the noble and innocent souls, and our true and eternal relationship with the divine. That's all there is. Nothing else. In this dimension of light, I don't have to do anything. I just have to be myself. In being myself allows for the inner treasures to unlock. It allows for the soul to experience the presence of the divine. The one who is beyond the effect of any action. The one who is ever present for me. I come into the light of the love of the divine. Here I don't need to do anything but just to be myself and experience this presence. All the thoughts of the story have faded away. And just this pure experience of belonging to the one. I just hold on to this inner silence, stillness. In the beauty of being myself. And as I gently come back onto the field of action. I realize that I'm here to just express what I am from within. I'm here to express the love I experience from the divine. There's nothing that I need to do. I just need to be in this pure space of consciousness and enjoy the game of life as it unfolds.